Hello and welcome to this month's webinar. How's everybody feeling? I hope you're okay and not too tired from staying up watching the election last night, or I hope you've got some plans to enjoy your last days of freedom if you're in the UK before lockdown. My name is Matt Ramsden. Every month we invite you to join me as I show off some of our upcoming games that are launching on the OpenGaming platform, as well as showing you some sneak peeks at our other games that are launching. Today we'll be looking at Rudolph Gone Wild, Rainbow Riches Midnight Magic, and Wild Gods of Egypt. And the guys from Live 5 will be joining us to go through that game, demo it, and also have a chat about it too. I'll also be giving you a sneak peek into 2021 and a couple of the big brand names that we're working with now and launching in the Q1. As always, if you have any questions, please enter them on the right-hand side of your screen. There's a questions section there. You can ask us anything within reason, or we'll try and answer. If we can't answer, we'll get back to you. And also, if you're shy and don't want to post on there now, you can contact your account manager or any of us individually via LinkedIn or emails if you have them, and we'll get back to you then. If we flick on the slide to the next one, and you'll see what the next couple of months and into next year looks like for us. Going through the rest of November, we've got three games I've highlighted there that certainly we've got a lot of expectations for. Firstly, Raging Rhino Ultra, which launches on the 17th of November. That is the Mega Drop version of Raging Rhino Rampage, which launched that last month, and we've seen great success. It's been one of our top performing games. It's been picked up by streamers as well as lots of great player feedback too. And we're expecting Raging Rhino Ultra to build on that momentum, pardon the pun. Then also on the 17th, we have our next Jackpot Wars game launching, which is Jinsei Dao Tiger. You'll have heard us talking about Jackpot Wars quite a lot over the last few months. The initial one launched earlier this year and really smashed all the targets we had for player engagement in particular. If you haven't had a chance to see it yet, then clearly you're not attending these webinars or are visiting our stands on ice, because we've been talking about it a lot. But you can search online for our previous webinar, which focused on Jackpot Wars and showed off the feature in more detail. And then looking into December, we've got in the next big time gaming game launching, Cyber Swap. I haven't been drinking. It's just really hard to say. And then looking into next year as well, we've got 3 games currently in development, so excuse the logos, but we've got 3 great brand names launching. Pluto Cash Mystery coming in January, and I know Craig from our content team, who is joining me later, he's been working on that game in particular and loves it and I've heard great things about it. We've got another Rainbow Riches game launching, Rainbow Riches Racing. That comes in February. And then in March, we have Utility Trails launching from Monopoly. Hopefully you'll have seen our Monopoly Electric Winds launch, which again was really successful. Super cool looking game, loads going on. I personally love that game in particular. And really looking forward to the Utility Trails game launching at the end of the month. But as always, you're not here to listen to me chat about things that are coming. You're here to see some demos. So if you flick onto the next slide, please, you'll see that we are going to start with Rudolph Gone Wild. Now, my son did ask me the other day how long till Christmas, and I think it's 52 days, 51 days. So maybe this is also a reminder to go do your Christmas shopping. But this game launches on the 25th of November. Clearly Christmas themed game, perfect for players trying to get in the Christmas spirit. Craig has done a demo, which we shall play out now. If you've got any questions, post them on the question section.
Morning all. So first up we've got Rudolph Gone Wild. So this is our Christmas themed slot. It's going to be released on the 25th of November. So we've done something different this year. You know, previous years we've gone back, we've revisited Fox in Winds, we've revisited Merlin's Millions, you know, and we've just done a straight up Christmas skin of that. So this year we're doing it a little bit different. We're going for a brand new game, something a little bit more volatile. You know, this is more of a hardcore sort of like gambler's game. It's definitely not a casual game. So the premise for this one is, obviously we've got Rudolph down in the bottom corner. He is one angry reindeer, and his associated symbol on the reels is obviously wild, and if by magic, there we get one. So when he lands on the reels, it's going to then respin for free. He will stay in place, but he is then going to move from right to left. So he's going to head up the reels and move them across. And if any more land, they're again going to stay in play, and they again will move from right to left. So you're going to get a free spin every single time one of those is on the reel. So it's going to just keep going until they've left. We've got a couple of other in-reel modifiers. So we've got the Snow-O-Matic machine here. If that triggers, that's going to add between 1 and 4 wilds on any of the first, basically on any of the 5 reels. So you could potentially get an entire screen of wilds from that feature. And then we've also got some elves that can run in at any point, and they're going to throw wilds onto the reel, so they'll just do a random number. Now for this game there's a free spin feature. You need 3 bonus symbols anywhere on the reels. That's going to trigger free spins, and it's then going to give you a random number of spins between 6 and 20, and then we're also going to give you a random number of stacked Rudolph Wilds. So these can be anywhere between 3 to 8 high. So that's where you're really going to see some, you know, some decent win potential. Now unfortunately, because this game's on the GCM server, we can't trigger any of the bonuses in, so I'm just going to have to leave it spinning. So if we just set autoplay going. So we'll just go through a few of the bits of important information. So the game's got 50 win lines. We've got an RTP of 95.33%. It's a medium-high volatility game. The entry level into bonus, you're looking at between 1 in 170 to 1 in 200. So not quite as high as you'd expect it to be. I think, as I always say, we average 85 spins a customer. So every 2 or 3 customers should see free spins at some point. Well, here we go. Go on. So there is going to be a bypass feature for non-UK markets, and then obviously we'll just give you a different game code for for the markets where you're not going to be taking use of that feature. So let's just kick that off again. So I think with this game, we're going to get the best of both worlds. We've got a nice, fun theme. It's going to be ideal for any sort of Christmas promos. But we're going to give something for your hardcore, customer base to go after. There's plenty of perceived value in this game. If you do get, a high number of, Rudolph Wilds, on reels 5, and then move through, and a few more drop in, you're easily going to get a solid 100 to 1000x win. The actual 1000x win ratio in this game is quite low, so it can deliver a sizable chunk back to the customers. I think what's best that we do is we'll just pause it there for now. I'll go off and play, and then when I get a bonus, I'll come back to you. Here we go. So we finally got there, and that has absolutely destroyed me while I've been trying to get free spins. So, as I said earlier, we get to pick the amount of free spins that we get, so it's a random amount, and we get to pick the Rudolph Wild stacks. So let's have a pick, go for that one. So we've got 10 free spins with a stack of 3 Rudolph Wilds. So it just means if any drop in plays, they can be up to 3 high. So there we go. So we've got 3 to start with. Right, let me just move myself over here. Okay, so we're going to count up the number of spins that we've used, but it's also going to give us the total spins as well, so we can see how many we actually get out of this. So, okay, so that's a nice little setup to start with. So if we can get 5 of a kind of the wild or the top 8 symbol, that is going to give us 50x. So obviously, with the fact that these are going to be stacked, if you can get it lined up, you're easily going to get some solid wins. Right, so look, as you can see, we've had 7 spins, but we've only used 1 of our free spins. So if we can get another one to land in now, that's going to keep us going. Now look, right, let's see what we get next. Okay, only the 1 this time. Come on, let's drop some more wilds in. See, so there, even though the wild left the reels, because another 3 dropped in, it hasn't taken a spin off us, it's kept us going. And this is what I like about this game. It has the potential to just keep paying out, keep spinning. So even if you only get like the 6 spins, if you can get 6 spins with, a stack of 8 Rudolphs, and they land, it's going to just keep ticking you along nicely. You don't necessarily need the 20 spins. Obviously, 20 spins with, an 8 high stacked wild is brilliant. So what we're looking at now, 109. Should be getting a few more. Oh, come on, no more dead spins. So unlucky that time we only got 109 times our stake. It's still a decent win. We did leave us a fair bit behind what we started with. I think what's going to really work for this game, because like I said, we're going to do this with a bypass version, bonus buy version in the non-UK markets. I think a lot of customers are going to, pay for that bypass and then kind of chase those, 20 free spins, 8 high stacked wilds. I think that's where we're going to see a lot of money get put through these games, in the Scandi markets and hopefully over, in Canada and the States. So yep, so that's Rudolph Gone Wild. Like I said, it comes out on the 25th of November. It'd be great to see it live, and great to see it part of all of your Christmas campaigns. Thanks a lot.
Hello again. Who's feeling festive? I know I am. The tune is slightly stuck in my head. What we're going to do is we're going to move on to Rainbow Riches Midnight Magic. We're going to look at a demo here, and then afterwards, Craig will join me and we'll have a few questions about those games. And also, I'm going to quiz him about some of the games that we mentioned earlier going into 2021. So here's Rainbow Riches Midnight Magic about to play out now, demo.
Welcome back. Okay, so I've got Rainbow Riches Midnight Magic to show you next. This is the next game from our Bristol studio. It's a follow-on from Rainbow Riches Cluster Magic, which we released in July this year. Very successful game for us, but one of the things we noticed was that it didn't necessarily resonate with the hardcore UK Rainbow Riches customer, base. We've gone back to basics with it. I think we realised don't mess with the leprechaun for that market. So it's a 10-line slot. It's got the classic, bar crest look and feel. The very, very UK retail. It's a flat 96% RTP, and it's got a free spins mode on the game. It's a very, very basic slot, but this is bread and butter for that customer base. One of the things we've done differently is we've added a super dial. So the super dial is kind of like the old super bet that we had on games like Foxing Wins and Merlin. It's very much like the inspired fortune bet. So you're going to pay a little bit more, but for an enhanced feature. So by turning the super dial on, you double your bet. But what that's going to do is it's going to give you the super dial if you only get 2 scatter symbols. So normally you would need 3 to trigger free spins. With the super dial, you need 2 to get a chance of free spins. So that's going to activate the super dial. So let me just set autoplay going. So we do have a little bug in the sound. It does turn the sound off when it spins, but as you know, the game's still in development. We're not going live now until December, so we've still got plenty of time. So here we go. We've got 2 scatter symbols. So it's not enough to trigger the bonus, but we get the super dial. So the super dial is a wheel bonus, and this is going to give us either a multiplier or free spins. So we're either going to get 6, 8 or 10. So we spin that. Come on, give us free spins. So we get 2x multiplier. So it's almost just like a, commiserations. You didn't get free spins. Here's just a little bit of cash. So let's trigger that again. So while this is spinning, I'll just give you a few stats on the game. So if we don't play the super dial, so if we just play the game normally, you're looking at 107 spins to get a bonus. So on average. So as I said earlier, 85 spins per customer, so pretty much everyone is going to see a bonus in this game. If you play the super dial, you're going to get the wheel bonus every 16 spins. So that is very low. See, look, we've already hit it again. Now, because we've got the wheel bonus in there, that does mean that if you're playing the super dial feature, it does take a little bit longer to get free spins. So just from 3 scatters alone, you're looking at 1 in 139 spins. But to get free spins from the wheel, you're looking at 1 in 59 spins. So again, very, very low. So let's give that a spin. Oh, so close. Let's set it going again. Yeah, so we'd expect a lot of customers are going to play this, super dial feature. The fact that you are going to trigger the bonus a lot more frequently. I think on the games like Foxing Wins and Merlin's Millions, we did see a large number of customers that would up their stake to get that improved bonus chance. And I've worked on inspired games for a number of years as well, and it's the same with the fortune bet. Customers will always play it because they perceive they're going to get better value out of the game. So let's see, are we going to get one more? So while it's spinning, I'll just go through free spins for you. So in free spins, we have this special fairy symbol. So if she lands on the reels, what she's going to do is she's going to upgrade all high-paying symbols on that spin to the highest one that is there. So, you know, if you can get, you know, a lot of top-paying symbols and a rainbow on there, they're all going to get ported over to the rainbow. They'll get upgraded, and then you're going to get a pretty big win. So it doesn't necessarily have kind of like the volatility of some of the other games that we do. So you're probably looking, you know, medium, so, you know, 3 out of 5, but it's still got, you know, some solid win potential. Here we go, back in again. Come on, give us free spins. Oh, we're in. Right, okay, great, we can show you the feature. So only 6, but that should be enough to see what the potential is. So we've got £7 first spin. Oh, we need the fairy to come in. There we go. Right. So she should then turn into the Rainbow Riches symbol, but also it's going to change the harp as well because it's the top paying symbol. So we got 64 off that one. Come on, one more. No, but again, you know, so that's 107. Now, yes, we're playing the fortune bet at £4 bet, but technically it is only a £2 spin. So, you know, first bonus we got over 50x, and we got that in less than 50 spins. So, you know, good solid game. I think, you know, customers, like I said, customers are going to see the value in it. They're going to see the fact that they're going to get bonuses very frequent. And because of that, and the fact that it's quite medium volatility, this will be perfect for cross-sell onto sportsbooks, especially UK sportsbook sites. I think it's gonna absolutely fly, this one. Great, thank you.
Hello. Actually, sorry, can we go back a slide, please? Go back to Rainbow Riches, thank you. Thanks for that, Craig. So I'm going to ask Craig to join me now to have a brief chat about the games. Hi, Craig.
Hello, you all right?
I'm all right. Firstly, disappointed you haven't got a new hair colour. Back to normal.
No, I did realise that what we're going live and doing 2 videos, that's 3 costume changes in one webinar.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. We did speak about dressing up in Christmas attire, but I did have a hat, but I'm having a good hair day, so I didn't want to ruin it.
We'll do a fancy dress one at least once.
First of all, I'll put you on the spot now. You did 2 games. What's your favourite game out of the 2?
Right. So, I mean, I've got a soft spot for Rudolph. I do have a soft spot for it. But I've played Midnight Magic a lot. Now, as all the operators I talk to will know, I'm not the biggest Rainbow Riches fan. I've never really, it's not a game I'd use my own money on. But Midnight Magic with that 2 bonus symbol, straight through to the super dial, I think that's gonna absolutely fly in the UK. UK wise, that's gonna be massive. So I'd say I'd lean more to that. Whereas, Rudolph is a very solid mechanic, but I'd expect that one to perform better over in Europe, like the Scandi markets. I think Canada will go mad for that one as well. So.
Okay. Speaking of Rainbow Riches, I know we've seen great success from Pots of Gold, really strong performance.
Yeah.
And just wondering what you thought has been driving that performance, and what learnings have we taken from Pots of Gold to put into Midnight Magic?
I think, Pots of Gold has shown that, your hardcore Rainbow Riches customer base want that UK bar crest look and feel. Rainbow Riches Cluster Magic was a great game, and it was, you know, it was brave of us to attempt the digital first Rainbow Riches, but it just didn't resonate with the hardcore UK base. You know, sites like Sky, which are bread and butter Rainbow Riches customers, it kind of fell short. Whereas Pots of Magic is it's a simple 10-line slot with a simple wheel bonus. You know, there's nothing complicated about it. There's still some chunky wins in there. The wheel bonuses can go up to 1000x. You know, that's a solid win. You know, that's what a Rainbow Riches customer wants. You know, and it's testament to the fact that we can put out a drops of gold or leaping leprechauns, but the customers are still going to go back to the original Rainbow Riches. That's the one they love. They love that. They love pick and mix, and I think Midnight Magic will stick around a lot longer than some of the previous ones.
Yeah, it seems like you really have enjoyed playing it. And looking back to the Christmas Rudolph, who do you think is the core audience for that game?
I mean, it's going to be a great cross-sell tool. You know, it's going to be great for affiliates. Having a brand new Christmas game that people can go out and promote is massive. I don't think your Christmas customers want to just go back and revisit, like I said in the video, Foxing Winds and Old Merlins. They want something new. That said, with Rudolph, it is a gambler's game. You know, there are some big wins in there. The 1 in 1000x hit rate is very low, so it's still gonna resonate with your hardcore customer base. But I'd be getting that out in free spin promos, in stake 5, get 5, give it to as many new customers as possible.
Right, there you go. That's a good marketing tip from
Indeed.
Then I shared a couple of games coming up in 2021.
Yes.
Some big brands there. I'm just wondering if you could give everybody a bit more information about those games. I know Cluedo is close to your heart, is it not?
Cluedo's my baby. It's the first game they've let me make, so we're very proud of that one. So Cluedo is it's a free spin slot game where you've got 3 scatter symbols which will control the type of bonus that you get. So you've got your murder weapon, which is going to be the win multiplier. The rooms is going to be the number of free spins, and then the murder suspect is going to be your bonus round. So you've got 180 different bonus round combinations. So plenty for people to chase. And as we've seen with Blueprint games, multi-bonus round games, people will chase until they've achieved all of them. Rainbow Riches Race Day was born out of my boss, Rob Proctor, going to the seaside and seeing the Donkey Derby machine. So this is again, it's going to be a free spin slot, but you've got a horse race going across the top of the reels, and you're looking to see which horse wins the pot. Really good, fun game. And Monopoly Utility Trails is just insane. So the content specialist team, we all got together. We've all got a bonus round in there each, and it's going to be a cluster pays game, which is the spiritual successor to a classic Chain Reactor Super Trails. So we've got like the first ever cascading lightning link bonus round. We've got like a spin streak. Community chest is going to come in. We've got the opportunity to get an entire grid of wilds. It's just insane, and we're just having so much fun making it.
Right, then okay, and we will hopefully be able to share them. Maybe Cluedo next month.
I think Cluedo should be next month. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm excited. It's nice to see that there's so much passion going into the game development, and they're not just off a factory. We're not just churning them out. There's lots of passion and thought and and personality going into it from you guys. It's great.
Oh,
you can see that.
It's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think, me, like Will, Carl and Matt, I think some days we have to pinch ourselves because we can't believe that they're actually letting us make games. We are all hardcore gamblers, and to be able to, put our love into these slots is great.
You really are loving life, aren't you?
Oh, I love it, mate. I love it.
Great. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to move on to the next game now, but thanks a lot for that, Craig. I appreciate it. And great demos as always. So the final game we're going to show today is from Live 5, who have launching their new game, Wild Gods of Egypt. So I'll hand over to Oliver, who's going to run a demo of that, and then Oliver and Matt from Live 5 will join me, and we'll have a few questions about that too. Enjoy the demo.
Hello everyone, we've got Wild Gods of Egypt here today, our upcoming title, and as you may have already guessed it, it's a game all about wilds. So without any further ado, let's jump straight in and we'll talk through as we go. Right, if we're lucky enough to land any wilds in the base game, we'll already see what we're talking about. If not, we can always force something in. So, as you've already seen, this is an Egyptian-themed game, all about wilds. We have two kinds of wilds. Hit free spins here. No, we have two kinds of wilds in the base game, so they land as one, but they can be transformed into either a sticky multiplier wild, just a multiplier wild, or a flaming wild. Now the multiplier wild can have a random multiplier of 2 or 3x. If you get multiple of those will multiply each other. Let's just force them in here so we can see what we're talking about. As you see, we've landed two wilds. They've both turned into a multiplier wild, so you will always have your wilds turn into the same kind of wilds, so you can't have mixes there, and we've been lucky enough to get a pretty decent base game hit here. So those multipliers have multiplied each other and then have multiplied the total win. If we were lucky enough to get some premium symbols, could have been an even bigger win. The other version of wilds is the red wilds, or the flaming wilds. Now, these award a respin feature, or flaming respins. Now, if you keep landing wilds, and wow, we were pretty lucky with that first spin, they will keep leaving behind footprints, and the more you land, the more the multiplier on that specific position will increase. However, in this case, we only had a bunch of 1x's. Had we landed anything in a position that was already filled, we would have had a slightly higher multiplier. Now, the free spins in this game, as you may have guessed, has already sort of been shown to us through the two various wild behaviors. So we have sticky multiplier free spins, or we have a flaming wild free spins. Now, the sticky multiplier free spins are pretty self-explanatory. We'll look at those later. First of all, let's jump into the flaming wild free spins. So again, as we've already seen from the base game, whenever the red wilds land, they will leave behind a footprint, land more wilds in that position, and you will increase the multiplier on that footprint. Get lucky enough on the final spin to have a decent window of symbols, all wilds will reveal and pay. Now, we have had a 17,000x win on this game. That has come from this feature. It is quite a volatile feature, so oftentimes you can walk out without that much of a prize. But just that one time where you are lucky, and you will have a decent win. You can re-trigger for 2 or more scatters in this free spins mode, which allows you to really build on that wild collection. Let's see if we're lucky enough to get anything in our last 2 spins. However, I don't have a good feeling about this. Not quite. So as you see, they have all now revealed to wilds. And we'll pay the win on the final spin. Sadly, only a 950. Now, the more reliable free spins, and my personal favourite, is the sticky multiplier free spins. Those, in that game, we have a lot of familiar mechanics. Obviously, sticky wilds. Whenever a wild lands, it will reveal a multiplier of 2 or 3x, and that will stick for the duration of free spins. Land wild on every one of the 5 reels, and you'll get an extra 5 spins. If you're lucky enough, you will get that on a wild line, and you will have 5 guaranteed spins of, a wild line. Everybody's dream. However, it seems we're going to be pretty unlucky here today. And we've at least landed 1 wild. I'm not going to walk out without anything. So open up now. So each of these wilds can have a multiplier of 2 or 3x. And we might even be lucky enough to get a re-trigger here. And as you see, it's already starting to turn even a low symbol win into quite a decent prize. This game is available from the 13th of November, and currently certified for all jurisdictions that we normally do, so that covers most of the European ones and also including a lot of Quebec. The game has an RTP of 94.5% roughly, and is a medium to high volatility. Thanks again for taking the time to have a look at our game. Looking forward to seeing it live, and yeah, happy to answer any questions. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.
Thank you, Oliver, and here you are now. I always love your demos. I think they're great. You're so passionate about the games, and also I've noticed you've done it a few times. I've noticed that there's always a bit of a drama where you get a bigger than expected win in the last 30 seconds of the demo. It's like you planned it.
Well, I mean, the one there actually worked out quite a poor win, but yeah, I mean, when you force a random free spins and you don't quite know what's going to come out at the other end, there's a little bit of excitement.
There's always some sort of drama or excitement at the end of your demo.
Yeah.
And also joining us is Matt Parker as well, also from Live 5, who I think is on holiday this week. So thanks very much for joining.
No worries. Thanks for having me on, Matt. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, you guys come on you guys join us quite a lot. I was just wondering, just talking about the game, what was the inspiration behind the game? Where did it come from?
So, go Matt first.
I was going to say, yeah, originally the game, we had basically two wild mechanic ideas that we liked and then wanted to combine as one. And the idea really stemmed from there, to be honest. And theme-wise, you know, the Egyptian theme is always popular, but we wanted to put our own stamp, our own sort of mark on, you know, just the style and the look. And then having that transforming wild, I think that really brings the excitement into, you know, the unknown, really, whether, you know, you're going to get the blue wild or, you know, the flaming wild. And then in the base game with the flaming wild triggering the respin event, you know, it does bring that excitement. So, you know, the actual game started before lockdown. So I must say the team really adapted well because we were halfway through the development with Wild Gods, and obviously everybody had to go home and sort of set up at home, work from home. But you know, they've done a really good job putting this together, the whole team. So yeah, really proud of this one.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that. And I'll say that we wanted to do a sticky free spins game for a really, really long time. So I think this is, as a gambler, I'm glad that we finally have one that I can lose all my money on or have a decent win on, depends. But yeah, I've been looking forward to this one for a while.
Cool. Yeah, I think it looks fantastic. I think it's a great looking game. As I said before, you guys have been on a few times. How's the other games performing? You had Billy Gone Wild, I think, previously. And some other games, how are they doing at the moment? Are you seeing a uptick during lockdown, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, well, two of our biggest releases so far this year, not including Wild Gods, have been Roco Loco, which I'm pretty sure we presented on one of the previous webinars, and Sheba as well, which I'm not 100% sure if we did. But yeah, those have definitely, in the last few months, been some of our top performers, and they've done really well, both in the UK, outside of the UK. We've made some headway in Quebec in Canada. We're working on getting the rest of Canada added to our list of ever-expanding list of territories. But yeah, I think they've seen some great success, and I think we're going to hopefully back that up with some of our upcoming releases and Wild Gods as well, which is becoming available to everyone soon. Only another 10 days.
Yes, is that apologies. Am I right in saying it's currently an exclusive?
This is currently an exclusive, yes. Yes, it comes out of exclusivity in 9 days.
Right, and that's been and obviously clearly that's been performing well. And you were saying before, You've had some big ones already, which is great for the players.
Yeah.
You mentioned Canada before, briefly. I think it was last time. Was it last time you joined, or the time before you just announced you were launching in Canada? How's that been? How's the performance been over there?
Yeah, so I think, the first game we launched in Canada, No, you put me on the spot. Actually, no. Billy Gone Wild, I think, had just gone live in Canada, about sort of midway through this year. And since then, basically everything we've launched has gone live there. So I think we've had a good 5 or 6 titles go live in Quebec, which, I mean, I don't know if everyone's aware, but Canada's sort of split into jurisdictions there. And that's all been very successful. So we're sort of now adding further jurisdictions in Canada to cement our foothold there, shall we say. So British Columbia is the next on the list. And hopefully we'll have that in place by the start of next year. So our future content will have that as a certification as well.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're getting a really nice momentum now of games flowing out and getting distributed, and there's some really good feedback coming back on our content, to be honest. So I think Q1 next year Q1 and Q2 next year we've got quite a few go live dates, so that'd be quite interesting to hit 2021 as a really positive start for us.
Right. I think the look of the last couple of games, I'd say Roco Loco and this, I think they look great. I'm a big fan of Roco Loco in particular. This game looks fantastic. And just a question that actually just came to me was, obviously you guys are producing games, and you said you went into lockdown during the development of Wild Gods. How are you finding it as a studio working remotely and having creative people, presumably all over the place? And
I think there's pros and cons to both, to be honest, Matt. The guys have worked really well. They put in, I don't want to say they put in more hours, but you haven't got to travel into work, so the guys, there's that flexibility there with the family as well. So it works really well. The communication, I think that's the key element to successful development, is the guys actually communicating with each other and making sure that that communication is never lost. So that's what we tend to do. We have weekly meetings, daily stand-ups, and we're communicating all the while. You can do remote builds, test the games, feedback. We use Jira, so we've got all the tools in place to push the content forward. So in that respect, really, nothing's really changed, apart from, I think what we miss the most is that sort of conversation that you would get off the cuff within the office. So somebody might hear you over talking and then pick up on what you're saying and join in the conversation, and it might then spur answers to questions or sort of more ideas. So I think that's what we're missing the most. Yeah.
I think you're right, and personally as a marketer, that's what I find as well. But I think also you almost have better quality conversations with people because you're having to dedicate 15 minutes or 20 minutes to somebody. So I think there are pros and cons.
Definitely more focused conversations,
Yeah, I think, and clearly it hasn't. It goes to show it hasn't impacted your guys' output, because the game looks great, and as you said, a lot of that has been developed during lockdown. So congratulations to you and the team on that.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining us, guys. Good luck for the game and for next year as well.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to getting it live.
Thank you. Great.
Cheers, guys.
Yes. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. Thank you. Cheers. Thanks to Matt and Oliver and Craig. So just to summary, we've gone through 3 games today. We looked at Rudolph Gone Wild, which, if you click onto the next slide, if it will go, a bit slow. We've looked at 3 games today. Rudolph Gone Wild, which is launching on the 25th of November, perfect for marketing campaigns going into Christmas. But as you heard Craig say, it's not just a novelty game; it's a gamer's game. There's lots to be won, lots of potential there. Midnight Magic launching on the 8th of December, really building on the core elements of Rainbow Riches and what the fans love, but with some additional features as well to keep it exciting and invigorating. And Wild Gods of Egypt from Live 5, which you've just seen, which goes on general release on the 13th of November. And again, I think you'll agree, it's another great game from the Live 5 guys. And if you haven't got it on your roadmap yet, make sure that you do. Thanks again. Just a reminder, we do these on the last Wednesday of every month. I appreciate it's not the last Wednesday of every month today, but as it was half term, we delayed it a week. So we'll see you at the end of November for 3 more games, including first look at our new Pluto game as well. Take care and look after yourselves, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye.